One of the few things I've learned over the past few years and have really changed our focus to is really focusing on that holistic person and not just on developing the best athlete, but developing on the best people. We've started to refine what we look for within our recruiting, and we focus on trying to just bring in great kids that are willing to compete. And I think by doing that, and by asking them, what are your expectations? What are you looking for beyond Castleton, and how can we get you to that point? Led me to the fact that there's some areas that we can improve upon to help make them fully complete. The demands of the kids have evolved. Social media has come up. I mean, back when I played, we didn't even have cell phones really. I mean, you still had landlines. Now it's social media. It's this. Everything is judgment based. Everything is high pressure. You're constantly being judged. You're constantly being forced to make a decision. I feel like the demands of kids coming from high school to college are different. I think the college academic setting forces kids to think and make decisions, whereas sometimes in high school it's more rigid. Well, you need to pass this test, you need to pass this test, and when they get here they don't have the skills to adapt to the stress of, oh man, I'm a college athlete, I have to write an assignment, I have to make a presentation, how am I gonna handle all these things? So I started to see more and more kids that were struggling with like stress and time management, and had they were more uptight, and they were bringing more things to practice and struggling to shed those things at practice. And I've always thought that soccer's your outlet. This is your time to come out and focus on just being an athlete and putting that stuff to the side, leaving it off to the side, coming in, practice, and then you can pick it back up when you leave. And it sounds so easy to say that, but to tell an 18-year-old kid who's away from home for the first time, dealing with all these new things, to just do that, it just doesn't happen. You can't, if a kid ends a relationship, you can't just say, you can do better. That just doesn't work, So bringing someone like Stu in, he brings, experience. He's gonna come in, and this isn't something that's just gonna happen overnight. This is something that's gonna happen over a period of years. We're gonna start laying a foundation for our players to handle these situations in a more positive way, to where it doesn't impact them as much, and so that when these situations arise, they can refocus themselves, pay attention to what's going on, move forward in their lives in a healthy way, and not one that's adding to the stress and to the anxiety that they feel already in today's day and age.
I try to teach 3 basic principles of mental strength. And mental strength, yes, again, will be on the court or on the field or in the pool or on the track, but they are essential for life. And those 3 core principles are to stay present, be in the present moment, to focus on our attention on what we can control, and then lastly, to stay out of judgment. We cannot function efficiently and well if we are not taking care of all pieces of who we are. We're such a society that's focused on the doing part of the world in the day, and have a really bad understanding of how important recovery is, and how important sleep truly is, how important nutrition truly is. If we got good at sleep, nutrition, hydration, taking care of ourselves physically, we would see so many problems disappear.
We have added a food stash in our locker room, which I think is important. Kids go to class longer, more now than they have before. Their lives are more stressful, they're more hectic. They come from class to practice. By putting like high quality foods in there and snacks for them to grab before they come out to practice, I think is really important.
One of the biggest things I always say is, if all I ever do is help you with your sport, then I have failed you. It's really important to me, regardless of the level, whether it's Division III up to Division I, that we are influencing and helping to create great people that are going to be successful in their future life. And great does not necessarily have to be all-American. It doesn't need to be about money or titles or positions. To me, it's about becoming self-sufficient adults, maybe someday becoming great parents, influencing their community. And so that's one of the things that I make sure that they understand, is that what I'm there for will be based in sport, but hopefully it's going to be much bigger than that.
we would take a $30,000 donation, sure. But you know, we take someone who's be willing to say, I'm willing to give you $100 over the next 3-4 years. That's fine too. I mean, every little bit helps. You know, I'm going to continue to do, you know, extra things to raise funds for us. I mean, we do, besides our camp, we do 3 other fundraisers throughout the year, on top of going and spending the day at Ronald McDonald House and giving back to them and doing all these other pieces that I think are so critical to, you know, to our program. And quite often we end up spending more time taking care of other people than we do for ourselves. And, you know, for me, this is the first time in 13 years that I've ever asked people to help us. And I'm doing that not for us to get extra balls or for t-shirts or, you know, to say, hey, you know, we want to have this great banquet or we want to go to Europe. I'm asking people to help us give those extra tools to develop like just a better quality people and to give them the support to enhance their experience. So my hope would be that, you know, Rutland community would come out and support us the same way that we've come out and supported them.